let's do another 1970s sample from scratch, and I might make this into a series. Y'all let me know. This time around, we're gonna go into the vein of Barry White, so let's get into it. Barry White, for those that don't know, man, straight out of Texas. A lot of people have sampled this dude, and I'm gonna tell you, the first time I heard a Barry White sample was Black Moon. I Got You Open. Yeah, that's right. I Got You Open remix. So it's gonna be inspired from that, and we're gonna use only 8 elements. Everything that I'm using, I will have links down below if you are interested. Some of these sounds will be stock sounds, other sounds will be sounds for sale or whatever. Let's start with the electric piano or Rhodes, and the chord progression is this right here. So the first chord, F sharp minor 7/9 actually, and then the second chord is going to be a B7 chord, a B7/9 chord. And you might be asking, where do you get these progressions from? Like I said in my last video, I just get them from my own book. I'll leave a link down below. But again, you can get progressions from anywhere. This is only 2 chords. That's all I'm doing. And you can play that in any type of rhythm you want to. I'm using a BPM of 80, and you can do however you want to. So here's what that sounds like. Right? Alright, so now the next element we want to do is add a grand piano. Now, Barry White was known as the maestro, man, so he could play the keys, you know, so a lot of times he played the piano. So what I want to do is add a piano on top of this Rhodes. He does a lot of this right here. Those real dissonant notes that clash. So I'm going to do something like this. Alright, and to be honest with you, this chord right here is the same as the chord that's actually in the progression, which is the first chord. But I'm moving this top key to the bottom. I'm moving this to this, which is the same note. I'm just moving it an octave down, so it goes from here to there. So that's how you get that chord. And then second chord, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna bring the E to the E flat. So I'll go. So let's record that. So that's a nice little combination, man. You know what I'm saying? Moving on, let's go to the bass. I'm just using this thumb stroke bass, which is a stock sound with Logic Pro. And all I'm doing are the bass, the root notes of the chords with some ghost notes. So let me bring up the MIDI so you guys can see. And again, like I said in the last video, you're going to use your ear to kind of fill in those spaces. So that sounds like this. These are just root notes. Root note, root note. See that? So this note is a root note. That's a root note because it's only 2 chords, and then everything else are just ghost notes or octave notes. Like this note right here is the same note as this. See that? Same note. All right, moving on. Let's go to the jazz guitar. Listen, you got to have a jazz guitar with this sound, man. The trick for the jazz guitar is pitch bend and octaves. So let me let you hear what I'm talking about. Check it out. As you can see, you have these pitch bends, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. Matter of fact, before I play it, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it. You're gonna use your pitch bend wheel, because I like playing it out. You know, you could always type in these keys again, but for me, I like to play it out because for me it sounds more realistic, more authentic that way, especially if you don't have a real guitar. And so what you could do is just pull up your keyboard. Let me pull up another keyboard. Whatever melody I play, I'm playing octaves. So that means if I have this note, I'll play an octave note above it. Right? So whatever note you choose. Right? So you do that, and then you're going to use your mod wheel to do a pitch bend. So you would do something like this. So on my left hand, this hand right here is on my mod wheel, right? So I'm gonna start down and then pitch it up. See what I'm saying? Did y'all get that? And look at the bottom of the screen where you can see the actual pitch bends. See that? So whatever note you use your pitch bender, start down, start below, and then work your way up. And the range is going to be 2 semitones or a whole step, all right? So you don't want to go too far, like that's too many notes. You just want to go up 2 semitones or 2 half steps. So that's that. I hope that makes sense. Moving on to the next sound, horns. I'm gonna show y'all another trick, man. With these horns, I actually created a track stack because I have 2 sounds. I have a trumpet and I have a trombone. So the trumpet, these are also stock sounds. And notice I have the trumpet panned to the right and the trombone panned to the left. All right. And what I did was I just stacked them into one folder. So if I play one note, it plays both together. So separate trumpet, trombone. The other key thing is you want the trumpet to be 1 octave higher than the trombone. So the other trick is to transpose the trumpet. So you're going to use your MIDI transposer, right? Bring it to 12 semitones up, because at first it's going to be like this, right? So you want to bring that up to 12 semitones. That way it does that. This is without it. See how they're playing the same note? You want one to be an octave higher. So you throw it on a trumpet, turn it back on. Now you have this. All right. That way, whatever you play, it does it for both sounds. All right. So this is what I played for that. Here we go. So now we're going to move on to the strings. Now I have 2 sets of strings. So the first strings, and man, guys, the strings is so important. It is major. You got to have strings. You got to have strings, man. So let me play the strings. So one set of strings, I'm using the studio violins. Check it out. Now again, this is coming from the same progression as the Rhodes or the electric piano. It's the same exact progressions. It's just a 2-chord progression. But we want to enhance that. Just like we did in the last video. We want to enhance that. So what do? We're going to go down to the bottom, right? Pull up E, hit E. That's how you pull this up, right? And we're going to create some swells in those strings. So we're going to adjust the MIDI volume. Boom, right? And we want those strings to swell up. So this is what we'll do. We'll set the volume down, set some points, and let these strings rise up. See what I'm saying? We'll let them swell like this. See that? So you want all the chords to kind of swell up. Start down and then swell up. See what I'm doing? Let me set some more points. So it looks like kind of like a zigzag, you know what I'm saying? And you want the chords to swell. That way it sounds more realistic because, you know, Barry White had an orchestra, the Love Unlimited Orchestra. Y'all know what I'm saying? See that? That sound more realistic, right? There we go. Y'all hear that? See, that makes a huge difference, man, when the strings swell like that. We're gonna add another strings. Now, this is the key thing, man. With that Barry White sound, the strings, you need some type of pitch in those strings. They need to swell, not only swell, but they need to pitch up to their note. That's called glissando. So I looked for this on the internet, man, and I did not see anyone talk about this. It blew my mind. I was like, okay, I guess I got to do it. Okay, so let's record this in here. I'm just playing 2 notes, that's it. And it's the same note, just an octave apart. That's all it is. That's all I did, all right? So now, going back to what I said about glissando, which means it's scooping the note up, all right, from the bottom. You can do it from the top to go like down, like. That would be glissando down. But you want to go glissando up. So you pitch up to the note. All right, so let's select all these MIDI notes. Go over to the left where it says articulation. We want to adjust that. We want to change that to glissando up. Glissando up. Now listen. You hear that? That's how you get that. Now, it's not going to sound right if you use glissando down. See, this is what it sounds like with glissando down. That ain't it. We want glissando up. See that? All right, there you go. So now let me add the other strings with it. Check it out. Right? Now, let me play everything else together, and then I'm going to add drums. Now, the drums, it's up to you, because you don't have to use drums if you don't want to, but you know, you could just finger in just a simple drum beat. Just finger drum it in. Just super easy, man. That's it. Just a super basic beat. Okay, so now let me play everything together. Y'all hear that? So let me get those drums in there. 2, ready, and. See how simple that is? The last thing is to add some type of saturation. All right. So what I like to use is vinyl strip. A lot of people swear by RC20, which is dope, but I like vinyl strip. Vinyl strip has some dope presets and some tweakable things you can do with it, you know, add compression, distortion, reverb, EQ, the type of vinyl sound you want, and it's dope. So let me add that, and then I'll add in each instrument one by one. And again, I will have links to everything that I'm using down below. All right, check it out. Electric piano. Let's go. We'll add in the piano from I Remember Duke preset. From Arturia. That's this. Bass. That's a stock sound from Logic. and then jazz guitar from Native Instruments. From the factory library, which is free. And then we're going to add these horns. The horns are also stock sounds from Logic. And then the strings, both strings is also stock sounds from Logic. Here we go. And then drums, stock sound. And there you have it. Now, again, this is how you can sample without sampling. Because then, say you want to sample this, even though you just play this all yourself from scratch, and just select all the sounds and bounce that together. Control B. Then we'll drag that into Quick Sampler. See what I'm saying? Change the pitch. Do what you do. See, that way it just sounds like a sample. You just sampled yourself. Oh, I like that key. Oh. Hey. Alright guys, so that's about it, man. It's your man JFILT. I hope that was helpful. Again, I might make this into a series. Y'all let me know. If y'all want this to be a series, y'all kind of comment who y'all want me to cover or whatever. So the first one we did, it was basically like stylistics. You know what I'm saying? This one, Barry White. I might do Isaac Hayes or somebody. Y'all just let me know, man. And yeah, it's your man JFILT. I'm sending peace and positive energy. Yeah.